Weller and Alex Mitchell setting a decent pace in the championship battle. Round 14 of the mini challenge, and we've got Paul O'Neill and Richard John Neal back in the commentary box.
It's punishing for us in the commentary box as well, Paul, isn't it?
Yeah, I love what Steve Ryder was saying about how much aircon we've got. If you can see behind us, you can't. You see that little fan? Look at the size of that fan. It's no, it's quite warm. The racing's been good though, isn't it?
Yeah, the mini racing this morning was absolutely superb. Really looking forward to our next race, and Alex Denning looking to make it a hat-trick. This is a partially reversed grid, so we've got the top 4 finishers from race 2. And we saw Alex Denning winning that one, so he starts 4th off the grid. We've got a couple of non-starters. Brad Gravitt, believe the engine's gone, so Brad sadly not with us. Ross Marshall won't be on the grid. Lydia Walmsley was with us yesterday. She had a major incident in race 1, and Lydia's out, like Hannah Chapman was at Knock Hill. Really hoping that both of those two, Lydia and Hannah, can get some backing and get them back out soon.
Yeah, definitely. I echo that entirely. It's a difficult job out there.
So how do they line up? Well, you'd be surprised for thinking this was fastest off the front, because pole position is Jack Mitchell. He was 4th in race 2. Ronan Pearson next to him, then Jason Lockwood and Alex Denning, double winner so far. Dan Zelos is next from championship leader Sam Weller. Max Coates lines up on row 4, Jack Davidson next to him, then it's Don Wheatley and Robbie Dalglish. Jerry Ratz and Liam Lambert, welcome back to the championship. Liam on row 6, Joe Tanner and Keenan Dole on the 7th row with Leo Panayotu, and Josh Jackson on the 8th row. 9th row, Kyle Reid and Ryan Falconbridge. James Griffith is next from Ethan Hamilton. Then we've got Jamie Osborne and Ross Marshall. As we just heard, Ross not taking the start. Will Hardy and Bazza Ward on row 12. A gap following them, Lewis Brown off the back of the grid after a disappointing race again, as too did Harry Nunn, the former Cooper champion, but that completes the lineup. We're being told that there might be Ross Marshall. There is Ross. That's great news. The former Scottish Legends Cars champion starting from pit lane. So he's going to give it a go, which is good to see. So rumours of his demise were a little bit early, shall we say. So Ross ready to take the start from there, and that might be a good thing, because if it kicks off mid-pack, you're probably better off having a look from pit lane, just seeing what you can do, but we'll see how it unfolds. So far, I say touching wood, no big safety car. We had a safety car at the start yesterday for Lydia's incident, but other than that, the racing's been very good and very event-free. But, of course, this is the live TV race, so things tend to change.
Yeah, they can do. The one thing that will have changed is as the cars go through the races, as they've done there on the 3rd race of the weekend, they will have been making changes and tweaks to make the car faster. So there will be a bit of overtaking, I reckon, but the circuit in absolutely fine form, considering the dust and the grass that's been pulled up by, you know, every single race that's been on the package. So yeah, they've been cleaning the circuit as much as they can. Still, you would wonder why they're getting heat in the tyres, weaving the cars down the straight, but you know, these have to operate in a window, and if they're too cold, they won't work.
No, for sure. There's Max Coates. He's been strangely away from the very top of the order. Robbie Dalglish goes through shot as well. There's Liam Lambert. His dad Gary runs a business just outside the circuit here with a unit. Gary himself a very good racer back in the day on the short ovals. And great to see Liam back with us with the Accelerate team as the front guys. The JW Bird Motorsport car of Jack Mitchell. Jack, of course, was championship leader after round 2, and it's incredible. We've had 3 different championship leaders in JCW so far this year, with Ronan Pearson leading after round 1, Jack Mitchell round 2, and then Sam Weller got in there. And at the moment, he's the guy they need to dislodge, but Jack Mitchell in that 19 car, he wants the championship lead back.
Yeah, one of the most experienced drivers on the grid, Jack Mitchell. He's had stabs at Clio Cup, British Touring Cars, British GT. He's done lots of things. Harry Nunn, 61.
Bingo. Good lad is Harry, and his dad as well.
Yeah, car looks good.
Does look very neat. Problems in race 2, so he starts off the back of the grid. Wonderful shot there, isn't it, across the track, and you see the spectator banking. What a good elevated view you get here of the infield at Snetterton. Wonderful venue to come, whatever the racing is, whether it's club racing or international level racing such as we have here. So it's Mitchell and Pearson on the front row of the grid, with Lockwood in orange and Denning next up. All of these guys had a super race too this morning. Lights go out. We are mini challenge racing, and it's a good start, as you would expect, from Jack Mitchell in pole position. We watch and they all get off the line. Well, the next nervous point is going to be down to Rich's. Lockwood's coming through. He's on the inside of Ronan Pearson. Lockers goes up into second place.
Yeah, great start from Lockwood. Lockwood in the 315. He really is looking racy, and Jack Mitchell already thinking it's time to defend from P2. So look at that though. Denning's fully involved. Ronan Pearson dropping right back on the grass. He must be down to P5, P6 now.
But he'll be able to come back from that. Such is the nature of mini racing. We'll see as we've got there one of the hybrid tune cars. I think Joe Tanner looking to make up more spaces as well. Joe skipped yesterday with tonsillitis, but he's back. It's Mitchell leading. Lockwood's already on the offences, has a look. I thought he was going to go for that one, but backs out of it. It's Alex Denning in third place and a change for fourth.
Yeah, Zelos has now pushed out wide Ronan Pearson, hasn't he? So Zelos is looking pretty handy in that Davanti Tyres car. Alex Denning there for race 2 winner. He's fully involved. Lockwood is now dropping back into the clutches of him.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. The complexion of the race will change as more drivers get involved, and Lockwood having to defend from Denning. Denning was the quickest man in qualifying, so he had the meeting pole position, broke the track qualifying record here, then in the racing yesterday broke the lap record, and I knew there was something buzzing around my head that I needed to convey, and that is that the race record changed to Sam Weller, 2 minutes 2.325, so he got the race lap record in race 2.
Lovely. Lovely, 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 and it's setting itself up, isn't it? This is looking pretty nice and tidy. No one's smashing into each other just yet. Look at the drive though from the race 2 winner. He's looking spot on, his Denning, and he's looking like he's trying to get all into the back of the 315 Lockwood. And Davidson's trying to do the same to Pearson in that yellow car as well.
This is one of the things I love about touring car racing and mini racing, is that you can see the fastest guys go off the front. Normally it's not untroubled, you get a good race, but if you do get someone who has that pace, and Denning's shown that all weekend, he's then got to deliver to come through the fast drivers that are around him in the third race. That's what he's having to do now. We know Lockwood was quick. Having said that, he's dropped back. There I am bigging him up, and we've got Dan Zelos up ahead of him now into third.
Yeah, look at that. Zelos is now having to come to the inside. Denning gets across. Great stuff from Denning. That was masterful. That was absolutely brilliant. Looks in his mirror, sees a bit of dust kicked up. Ronan Pearson hasn't actually made the tarmac at Wilson sit down there. But look, down the inside of Zelos, job done, gets it done into Palmer's. But look at the inside now, because it looks like Zelos is going to try and get down the inside of him. Cannot get the steering lock off quick enough. There's a bit of wheel spin, and it's back to how it was.
Ronan up into fourth place, challenging Liam Denning. Then we've got Dan Zelos. Good to see Jack Davidson in the mix there as well. Something to look back for Max Coates in the 71. He's there as well. Davidson has a look, blocked there by Dan Zelos in the number 1. Very brave man, as we said, to come back and defend this championship. Wasn't able to move up into touring cars for this year, and to come back is a brave thing. To successfully defend a championship as competitive as this is the odds are very, very long.
Yeah, you can, at the end of the day, you can only lose, to be fair, and I've got to take my cap off to him, because that's a hardcore decision to make if you're not getting the right thing. Round the outside, that's Paniutu, isn't it? Oh, he only just about got away with that. That's Coram, the super fast, high-speed right-hander coming to the last corner at Murray. So, bit of a shuffle there in the middle of the pack as well. They're going at it hard here, aren't they? Properly.
They are. It's been a long weekend for these guys, and spread out, of course, across the 2 days. 2 races today, and Denning there up ahead of Pearson. So it's Mitchell still out front, and Mitchell's going to be a difficult driver to dislodge, even for Lockwood.
Yeah, he's got all the experience, the race leader. Mitchell knows the score. He'll be trying to just, get the job done, tick off the laps. Look at that. You can see 315 Lockwood. He's again, the heat of the circuit, the heat of the cars, the aero that comes off the back of these saloon cars is enough to overheat the engine. So you'll get an alarm in the car, flashing red, saying basically you need to move out of the way and get some clean air. So difficult one. So Mitchell is in the pound seats. He's just looking after his car, whereas Lockwood is going to have to try and get past him as quick as he can. Talking about getting past people as quick as you can, you've got Zelos trying to get past Pearson again. Pearson shuts the door first time. Round of applause, please, for Ronan Pearson. He stayed on the tarmac.
We'll have a change. So Pearson busy now trying to hunt down Liam Denning. And a little bit of dust kicked up by that lurid pink of Jack Davidson. Jack had a frustrating start to the season. I think the new tyres maybe caught him maybe a little bit more than some of the other drivers, which was a shame, but a multiple race winner, that pink 21 car in previous seasons. Still Mitchell out front. Remember, Mitchell, the man that won the Jeanette Junior Championship when Lando Norris, now in Formula 1, was in it. That is how quality the driving force was that year.
Yeah.
And of course, James Kelly was second that year.
Yeah, of course.
We're going to see him in our next race.
I completely forgot about that. Yeah, so Zelos had massive battles with Norris. Yeah, because I commentated on all that. That was a long time ago. Wow.
Yeah, we've had some really good people come through the junior formula on this package, and it's worth noting the names down, or at least making a mental note of them. There is the Devante car, though, of the reigning champion. So Zelos in 5th position at the moment. Denning still fending off Pearson. A little bit of a gap back to Jack Davidson at the moment. Sam Weller back in 6th, but still relatively handy points for him. He's not into the scenario yet, Weller, where he could drop more points or have more drop scores. He's got a good lot of points in hand. 100% finisher so far this year, the 6th position car. Lap record holder Keenan Dole gets a little bit fiery there.
You know, this corner here, Coram, the cars are going at such a rate. I cannot tell you, you are full throttle on the entry in 5th gear, and then you lift out the power, and you have to kind of left foot brake, because look, you brake round the corner, and you don't usually do that in any other circuit. You're always just trying to brake in as straight a line as possible, but braking at high speed in a corner like that is unbelievable. I remember speaking to Jonathan Palmer about the design of this circuit in particular, and he had a lot of input into it, and he just wanted to see the cars dance, and that's exactly what he gets. And now you're seeing someone dancing here, and that's the 315. Lockwood is looking a bit naughty here.
Let's rub our hands together. We've got a lead battle building up here with Jack Mitchell, the race leader. Lockwood, who was very entertaining in this morning's race, piling the pressure on. But before he can do that, he's got to get that much closer to that Wera logo on the back of the number 19 car. Alex Denning, maybe his tyres are spent from the 2 races that he's led off the front. He had to work hard for them, but at the moment not quite looking handy enough to close down on Jason Lockwood. There go the top 4. 5th is still Dan Zelos, Davidson. Quick look back, Lewis Brown on the timing screen, 17th from the very back of the grid, so he's making progress. Joe Tanner, who started at the very back of the previous race, has got up into 11th, so Tanner getting up to where he wants to be, having sat out race 1. The big thing about this championship is you can't afford to have a DNF in race 1, because that just puts you, like the touring car, on the back foot big time for the whole meeting. Yeah,
exactly that. And it's interesting to see where people's tyres are at, like you touched on. A lot of people, as you see Ronan Pearson all over the back of Denning, he is trying to give him a workout here. This is 6th gear, 130 miles an hour probably in one of these cars, braking down the gears, down into 3rd, down into 2nd now, and you swing the car in right and then fire it into the over the little curbs, not the sausage curb, you don't want to be hitting that, and then it's a little lift into the bomb hole through here in 5th gear, flat out. And then Ronan Pearson now making his way up to this corner, which I just think is one of the most fantastically, technically challenging corners now as they brake now. Look at the speed, left foot braking all the way round, because you just think you're going to turn right into the barrier, but you need to get it down into 2nd gear and fire it up the home straight.
It's a mega corner. I venture it's as good to watch as it is to drive.
It's amazing, it really is. In a front-wheel drive touring car, which these are, it's unbelievable, so challenging. But Lockwood is so good out of the last corner. He's got great traction and also great braking into Wilson's, the hairpin. What we got here, that's Lewis Brown on the right-hand side. He turns across Panayotu. Oh, Panayotu, he touched the curb, and then he may have got a little push from the rear from Dole, maybe. But it pitched him up in the air anyway. But yeah, it's getting all close, isn't it? And Sam Weller's actually got fastest lap now, hasn't he? So the purples and greens are lighting up the screens.
Sam's consistently quick, as I say, got the lap record away from Alex Denning in race number 2 of the weekend. Denning was, as we said, pace setter in qualifying in race number 1, where he established the new record. And it's amazing how well the tyres that the drivers were wrestling with start of the year have really come into their own and delivering for these drivers. Mitchell from Lockwood, 6/10 of a second. Keenan Dole gets a black and orange meatball flag.
Yeah, that was the car we just seen maybe at the S's with Panayotu, I think. So I don't know whether he's hit something and he's got something hanging off the car. That's just a mechanical warning flag. He needs to come into the pits. There's a lot of cars actually with splitters and things hanging off the back of the cars on that shot actually. When you bounce across the curbs and the grass in these cars, they're quite low to the floor, so they do take the diffusers off, and if they don't come off cleanly and they're hanging around, the stewards of the meeting do not like the look of it, and they know that that could fly into the ground.
Oh, Max Coates again. When is Max Coates' luck going to change? Dear, oh dear, he's having none at all, is he, at the moment? It's all going to be about individual races now towards the end of the season. For Max, only 2 more meetings left.
Unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. The lead is now starting to get close again. It's kind of yo-yoing, isn't it?
Zelos has got past Ronan Pearson, hasn't he now? So Zelos back into 4th place.
It looks like Ronan's struggling a bit there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He's dropping back a bit in that yellow 66. So he's starting to defend. Davidson is behind him, but look at that. Weller and Davidson side by side. Weller around the outside. You're a brave man to do that to Davidson, and he knows he goes for the switchback because he knows he needs to try and get down the inside of Wilson's, but it's not on. And it's, yeah, back to status quo. Woo.
Good move by Davidson, the young Scot. Multi-race winner. How many race wins have you got in that battle alone? Incredible stuff. Very high quality field, this one. A little bit of a gap back between after Weller. We've got Dom Wheatley and Joe Tanner almost up with the lead battles, Joe Tanner. So a very good recovery from the Scot. You can see the salt tyres on his where his lights would be, so he's making very good progress indeed. As we watch Sam Weller in the 11, down in 7th place, not looked as happy as he Weller on the tail end. That damage, a little bit of a clash, wasn't there, at the start of race 2?
Yeah, he's gone from having like the fastest looking car of the weekend to something that's quite mediocre and can only
still get the fastest laps though.
Yeah, it's really strange, really strange. Because he had the fastest lap in the last one as well, I think, didn't he? Oh, Basil Ward. He's had a stinker, hasn't he? He did a great job in the first race, up from 26th to 15th, I think it was, you were saying.
I'm sure he does this for the coverage, you know. If I go in the pits or spin off, I get my sponsor seen, but very briefly as the door closed.
He's had a lot of coverage. He's had a lot of
misfortunes
for the wrong reasons. Yeah. For the wrong reasons. Awful. He's a good peddler, and Basil will be back, I'm sure.
He typifies the drivers that work so hard to bring their budget. So many of them do in this paddock. You know, make no apology for saying it, but he really does have a struggle. And Max Coates is having a struggle this year. The Graves Motorsport car busy being jacked up. It's game over for Max though.
Yeah, I think that they're looking at maybe they had a drive shaft problem with this car at Knockhill, but I am speaking to a few people. The drive shafts are getting a real workout around here. Just if you hit a curb on the wrong side, or if you put a wheel spin across the rumble strips, it can cause a lot of tension. You know, these cars have got a lot of road car parts on, but you know, tensioned up a bit more.
Watching the lead battle, and it's gone down from 0.666 to 0.516 to 0.505, so Lockwood is chipping away. But when you're making those small increments, to me it suggests you might not, unless you've got the ability to outfox the car in front, maybe not the extra pace required to get through. There's Keenan Dole having his bodywork removed.
Yeah, so it's they're a problem, them diffusers. Oh, go on, son! Yes, boy! Oh, that needs that TikTok drift Japanese drift music on it, doesn't it? That's amazing. Look at that full throttle. Oh, how's your look? How's your look? And then a front lockup as well. And he's going into the pits just to get... That's all he was doing. That's amazing.
He kept pointing the right way, didn't he?
Oh, I've got to give him... That's 10 out of 10. Oh, brilliant. But yeah, that's what the mechanical flag was for. That's just ripping that rear diffuser off. They do dislodge quite easily, but they dislodge because the drivers are on the grass for some reason, and that's not the car's fault. Just stay off the grass, and hopefully no one pushes you there either.
Yeah, the grass can get really bumpy. Lydia Walmsley was saying yesterday that she just took to the inside curb on turn 1 to avoid a bunch in front of her, and you think the curb's okay, and you think that, you know, further in from the curb is going to be, it was a dip, and that's what sent her car off. So
these cars quite stiffly sprung, as we know, and it only takes a big compression in the damping to pop the car up, as we've seen on the curbs already. The car's really, that's a great shot. That you can see the cars from a high speed left-hander into a slow speed right, but Jack Mitchell looks like he's got it all covered off in this last sector.
He's all comfy, isn't he?
Yeah, but it doesn't look that way when he gets to turn 2 at Wilson's.
Okay.
The hairpin, I don't know if it's traction or braking, but Lockwood there in that 315, he's so good through the first corner. He really does seem to catch him, and then he gets him on the brakes as well into turn 2. but Mitchell may be just playing with him here, I'm not too sure. But Ritchie's, this first corner here, down one on the brakes, so fast, but you can just see actually visibly Lockwood looks like he's a bit more committed as he runs through, and then it's on the brakes here for Wilson's, where it always looks like he's a bit closer than he has been. Bit of a rear right lock up there. These cars do run quite a lot of rear bias, and that does have like a handbrake effect, and it can turn the cars in nicely. But I think Mitchell's got this all under control.
It's looking pipe and slippers, isn't it, at the moment, relatively, for him, and a third win of the season.
Oh no!
In essence, here as Jack Davidson goes past Ronan Pearson, and that looks like curtains for Pearson.
Yeah, that wasn't Davidson's fault. That something went wrong there with Ronan's car. He was trying to get out of the way, and that's why Davidson head-butted him. That was that's a shame. That's gone, finished.
Yeah, if he plays it right, he might be able to use the little cut back into the paddock, which is at the end of the straight that you saw there. We probably won't see him do that. Game over. Big shame for him. Ronan was making inroads in the championship.
Yeah, that's a shame. He was looking very strong, wasn't he, to be fair, Ronan? But yeah, back to the two hybrid cars. Don't take the boss out.
Give him a wave.
Oh, dear.
A Highland wave as you go through. Or a Knockhill wave, because Joe's based at Knockhill. His helmet painting business goes through and past Sam Weller.
Good move that was by Joe. Got that done. I think that was obviously Sam opening the door, but don't get yourself twisted up. Joe Tanner's one of the fastest kids in this. He is, and you know, he's one of them kids that you think, well, is he good? He is good, and I really rate Joe. But Sam Weller is nowhere. That was quite an easy pass, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think Sam knew that.
Yeah, Sam's the team player. He knows the score. You know, but don't take the boss out. Don't take.
No, absolutely right. And, yeah, just going back to Joe Tanner, I think double champions. He's a mini champion in Scotland, Formula 4 champion in Scotland as well.
Proper.
Before the perennial running out of money, you know, he could have gone up the single-seater ladder for sure.
Well, he's just painted my helmet for me, so that's why he's probably racing. I've paid him about £6 million. Ronan Pearson, you have had a disaster, my friend. That is awful. That's such a shame. He's been so strong. His lap times at the last race at Knockhill were just phenomenal, so gutted for him. Love to know what's gone on there. It must be a heat-induced problem. He'd be best staying straight on here, actually, and just getting the car out of the way. This is still getting a bit tasty, unless Jack Mitchell is the most comfortable person, just backing up Lockwood in that 315.
Yeah, he's got the gap out to 6/10 now from 5/10, so Lockwood has tried absolutely everything that he can. So just a quick reminder of where we are championship points-wise. Weller is the championship leader. Alex Denning, who's running in third place, is second in the championship. Mitchell, leading this race, is third. It's only 3 points behind Alex Denning, so it's going to be nip and tuck between those two. When you look at the points for the mini championship, they publish both with dropped and without dropped scores, so it's a little bit complicated. I think these are with the dropped scores.
Yeah, and that's why I will never do lead commentary, my friend, because my maths is
especially
awful.
on the last round.
Yeah, good luck. I'm not going to go to that one. It's always a bit close, isn't it? Talking of close, Paniautu in that 29 with the orange headlights has got an attack mounting here, because Osborne is on the back of him big time.
Yeah, Jamie Osborne busy trying to close up. I think it was here that he had a couple of outings in Focus Cup last year in absolute teeming rain, and he absolutely tonked everybody.
Yeah, he mullered them, didn't he? Yeah, I was speaking to his dad about that. Yeah, he did, you're right. Good pedaler he is. He's just trying to find his feet. It's front-wheel drive is difficult, and well, his teammate is leading the race, but Osborne is a good pedaler, and he'll get there. Just needs to get that experience. He's still a young lad. He is
a young lad. And just go back to Focus Cup, there are some very good pedalers in that championship as well.
Yes, I've helped a few of them out there. Yes, they're very good. They run a good championship, and it's nice and affordable as well.
So Osborne trying to close on Paniautu, who's at the moment, they are 15th and 16th position at the moment, but third and fourth getting closer. And Dan Zelos here on his home track, having a little bit of a nibble, getting closer to Alex Denning. Denning will dearly love to get up into the championship lead, and to do that, he's going to need every single point, so he wants to stay in.
Oh!
Now what's happened there?
Wheel off. Left front has just disintegrated, and look at that, bouncing away. I'm so glad it's gone there. It's just into the farmer's field and nowhere near the crowd. Wow, I would stop that car right now, or even get it out the way, because that could cause a fire. Get that on the tarmac and get it out the way. Look at the front left.
Turns in.
Gone, finished. What has gone on there? That has been on that car for the whole race, and then all of a sudden He probably thinks that's a front left damper gone, because he won't have seen the wheel maybe fly off. That wheel went at some speed. I'm so glad.
We were lucky there as well, because everyone's been worried about the sparks and fires, and sparks could have ignited that.
Yeah, exactly. We're on the final lap anyway, so hopefully he's not happy there, is he? I can't believe that. We've seen some good people drop out this race, and Mitchell has had nothing to worry about, and neither has had Lockwood. He's had no dramas.
Alex Denning's second retirement of the year, so the good point of it for him is that he can drop this score, so that's a good one. So back with the race leader, and it is Mitchell here. Here he comes, Mitchell, race leader. 0.8 of a second now, so it was pretty much game over on that last lap from Jason Lockwood.
Oh, he's not happy.
He's not happy at all.
I mean, you wouldn't be, but I mean, he's so lucky. Look at that. That's how much it means to him, and that's, do you know what? I like to see that, because that's how much it means to him.
Yeah, you got to have the passion. It's when people aren't too concerned that you've got to worry, isn't it? Mitchell, though, cool as a cucumber, being gifted the reverse grid pole position, has driven absolutely superbly, as we know. I wonder if his dad's down there with the little hunting horn too. We haven't seen that for a while. It's going to be Mitchell that take the win. Third win of the year for Jack Mitchell. He'll take them however they come, reverse grid or otherwise. Mitchell takes the win. Jason Lockwood, a fine second position. Third place is going to go to Dan Zelos, with Jack Davidson next up from Weller, who gets the better of Tanner, and Paniotto going past Osborne.
Osborne's got a failure because he just hit the back of Paniotto. Nightmare for him.
He's not going to cross the line, is he? If he does, it'll be in pit lane, which I don't think that's. So Paniotto coming through. He's going to be behind Liam Lambert, so he finishes in 14th place. Paniotto from James Griffith, and then Kyle Reid goes through. There is the 77 car. Non-finish.
Front left. That looked like front left punch it, or front left, yeah. Oh, look at that. Denning is, he is inconsolable, because he knew he had a chance of really digging into that points haul, hadn't he? Oh, he's devastated, and I don't like to see that.
No, I don't. But, you know, again, it comes back to drop score. So on drop score, I know you want to amass them and you don't want to worry about dropping them until the last round, but that's the consolation when he sits down and analyses what's happened. You're going to get a breakage. You're probably going to get... That's why they have drop scores, because on average they're saying you're probably going to get 2 non-finishes, maybe mechanical, maybe someone hitting you. You know,
you never win a championship without something going wrong. And Jack Mitchell, let's talk about Jack. That, from lights to finish, was just looked like a breeze.
Spot on.
Lockwood looked like he was going to challenge, but he had every single answer for the questions that Lockwood was asking. So great stuff from Jack. Lovely to see him win again. Good kid he is. Love him to bits. Top man.
Absolutely great lad, as you say. So Jack Mitchell taking the win. Lockwood will go down. And just acknowledging the massive crowd that we've got here. For the first time for many a year, I've had to queue up to get into Snetterton this morning, which is a great sign.
It is, but if you come round the back, come in at quorum entry, I didn't queue once. Like literally.
I know you tell me.
No, mate. You need to grow up and listen to me.
One day, Paul.
Okay, maybe not grow up and listen to me. Look where I am.
It's a good call, though. Let's have a look at how they finished in our last mini race of the weekend, and it's the third win of the season for Jack Mitchell from Jason Lockwood and Dan Zelos. Jack Davidson fourth from Sam Weller, who got back ahead of his teammate Joe Tanner. Jerry Ratz in seventh, great result for Jerry, he's getting consistent now. Dom Wheatley in eighth, another consistent visitor to the top 10 these days. Ninth was Robbie Dalglish, 10th was Josh Jackson. Ethan Hamilton next up from Lewis Brown, then Liam Lambert 13th, Leo Paniotto 14th, ahead of James Griffith and Kyle Reid. Ryan Falconbridge 17th, Will Hardy was next, and then Keenan Dole after a pit stop. So Keenan had a very good quick pit stop. And then the drivers that had problems, headed by Alex Denning on the last lap of the race. Big shame for him. Problems too we saw for Jamie Osborne. Ross Marshall started from pit lane but was down as well. We saw Ronan Pearson having problems. Bazza Ward was out as well. Max Coates and Harry Nunn. Disappointing weekend for all of those drivers. So there is Jack. They get the next racing weekend off, because we have the Coopers for company again at Thruxton, which will be good. Max Coates in the background applauding, as ever he does, his teammates and all the other drivers. Top sport is Max, and he will come back, but he's only got 2 rounds now to come back with Silverstone and Brands Hatch. There is Jack Mitchell, just keeping a quick eye out to see if Tell's there. Tell being his dad that we were talking about with the hunting horn, which, for those of you who don't know the tradition, he used to blow the horn every time that Jack got a win. We're not going to see that today. What we are going to do, though, is grab a quick break, and we'll be back with an interview with Jack Mitchell in just a couple of minutes. Please stay with us.
Round 14 of the Quaife Mini Challenge. Jack Mitchell off pole made a good start, and that's where he stayed. Others had a more entertaining time. Look at that wonderful drift, the remarkable control around Coram. For others, it was slightly less entertaining. Poor Alex Denning losing a wheel and losing valuable points on the very last lap. But great win for Jack Mitchell. Jason Lookwood in second, Dan Zelos inheriting third from that moment of Alex Denning. And he was inconsolable because the points he's lost in terms of the championship battle could be very valuable indeed. This is how it stands, with Sam Weller still out front with a 51-point lead over Jason Lockwood. Jack Mitchell in third and Ronan Pearson fourth, and Alex Denning some way off the pace now in fifth place in the Quaife Mini Challenge. And